Welcome back to the Frank Roach Show. Great to have you with me as always. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications, and like the video. Tell your friends and family to do the same. Let's build up some traction here. On a long and lonesome highway east of Omaha, you can listen to the engine moaning out his one-note song. You can think about the woman or the girl you knew the night before, but your thoughts will soon be wandering the way they always do. The starting lyrics to a classic rock and roll song. What is it? What is it, subscribers, listeners, friends? All right, let's get into the show a little bit today. Checking in on Donald Trump's hush money case. Boy, oh boy, this guy cannot get a fair trial. In New York City, they let murderers out without bail, slash someone in the face with a knife, you're out a few minutes later. Assault somebody, you're out. Harm somebody physically, steal something, no problem. No crimes, no jail. You can do whatever you want. But if you're Donald Trump and you want to run for office again, and Democrats hate you, well, they find things to charge you with. Trump has been threatened by the judge in his hush money case in New York City that he must be in the courtroom every day, even though he's a candidate for the U.S. presidency, and if not, he'll go to jail. He's got gag orders on him. Of course, Trump can't shut his mouth. If Donald Trump could just shut his mouth and speak more civilly, boy, oh boy, could he get more support, but he can't. There's a D word for that we use amongst men. Beyond that, though, this hush money case is really silly. This is the case where Donald Trump had a sexual encounter with Stormy Daniels while he was married, years before he ran for president, decides to run for president, doesn't want Stormy Daniels talking about the situation. So he gets his lawyer, Michael Cohen, to pay her off to be quiet, hush money. Trump recompensates Cohen through a variety of payments over a period of time. And all of a sudden, we have a federal crime. No politician I'm aware of has ever been charged with a hush money crime, and you can be sure they happen all the time. Andrew Jackson paid hush money. Bill Clinton paid hush money. What was a misdemeanor that expired due to the statute of limitations on such a case. Alvin Bragg, Manhattan District Attorney, who campaigned on getting Trump, turned a misdemeanor that had expired due to statute of limitations into a federal crime. And all of a sudden, now Trump is in court with the possibility of being convicted and going to jail because he can't get a fair jury there, that's for sure. So Bragg said that he will allege false filings on business records to hide a crime. Again, the crime being the expired statute of limitations on the misdemeanor for paying someone hush money. But it's not a federal crime. The federal government did not view this as a crime. It did not try to prosecute Trump. So it's an unusual indictment, to be sure, an unusual trial, to be sure. It's not clear exactly what Trump is being charged with, or the theory behind what he's being charged with. The judge is Juan Merchan. As of today, I'm just seeing headlines that the jury has been selected, or at least 6 members of the jury have been selected. And so very unusual here that we have this particular charge against this particular person. It is election interference. It is about getting Trump. The judge has ordered Trump to be in court every day. He's already suggested he may not allow Trump to be absent for court from his son's high school graduation. And the whole idea that I'm hearing from the left and the mainstream media is that no one's above the law. Well, lots of people are above the law. How about every member of Congress that does insider trading? How about Joe Biden ignoring immigration laws? Just for starters. How about Alvin Bragg not prosecuting laws on the books? Just to be clear, this whole word, he's not above the law. Well, there's lots of people that are above the law. They're called rich and famous and politically connected. Anyway, this could be hurtful. This could be harmful. This could be one that gets Trump, unfortunately. I think the Georgia case, the Fani Willis case, is going to take forever, probably not concluded before the election. This case is going to take some weeks. Again, President Trump will not be on the campaign trail that whole period of time, so Joe Biden will have free reign. This is not justice. This is not American justice. This is Banana Republic justice. And again, you know what, from listening to me, I'm not a huge supporter of Trump, although I'll vote for Trump before Biden. But this is wrong. And even those on the left who are happy about this, my friends, colleagues are excited about this. We finally got him. Got him on what? Got him on what? On some trumped up charges. All right, the other thing I have in my mind today is some new news coming about the southern border and immigration in the Biden open border policy, supported by the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas. And there are flyers being passed out in Mexico, in Central America, that says, reminder to vote for President Biden when you are in the United States. We need another 4 years of his term to stay open. That's right, an NGO in Mexico, funded by the Biden administration and other wealthy Americans, is distributing a flyer, and I'll repeat it again, quote, reminder to vote for President Biden when you are in the United States. We need another 4 years of his term to stay open, close quote. Think about the illegality of that. Think about the unconstitutional nature of that. The implication to these people is that once you enter the United States, you can vote. That is absolutely untrue. Now, Democrats are trying to move to allow illegal immigrants to vote, and they've tried it many times already around the country over the past years. And there is an effort right now to get the 8 to 9 million illegal immigrants that have entered the country since January of 2021 to be given the right to vote in the 2024 election. This flyer is an affront to the U.S. Constitution. It is an affront to U.S. citizens. It is wrong and should be called that by everyone in America. No, it's against the law for non-citizens to vote in the U.S. Only citizens get to vote in the U.S., period. And for this flyer to be distributed under the knowledge, with the knowledge of DHS Secretary Mayorkas is just awful. This is not how a sophisticated first world superpower country acts. Anyway. All right, what else today? Iran, Israel. All right. We could go back to the 1940s. We're going to go back a few weeks. The tit for tat in the Middle East is expansive since the 1940s. And the tit for tat stuff continues today. So a few weeks ago, Israel, in its constant effort to defeat Arabs and Muslims wanting their existence erased from the world, has been responding to Hamas terrorists, Hezbollah terrorists, militias in Syria, militias in Iraq, the Houthis in Yemen, all backed by Iran, in an effort to respond to the terrorist attack of October 11th, 2023, when Hamas killed 1,200 Israelis and kidnapped hundreds. So Israel strikes at an Iranian, I'm using my air quotes, consulate in Damascus, Syria, a couple weeks ago, knowing that Iranian Revolutionary Guard troops are in that building. And again, reminder, Iran backs Hezbollah, Iran backs Hamas, Iran backs the militias in Syria, Iran backs the militias in Iraq, Iran backs the Houthi rebels in Yemen, all anti-American, all calling for the elimination of Israel. So Israel hits this target, kills high-ranking generals from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. A few days later, they hit another similar group of people in the Gaza Strip, again, Iranians. Obviously, Iran's furious about this. And Israel has hit Iran officials outside of Iran many, many times over the past 10, 15, 20 years. Iran rarely responds. But the mullahs, the ayatollahs, decided to respond this time and fired some 350 missiles from Iranian territory and other territories around the Middle East, around Israel, on Saturday night. Thankfully, Israel and the United States took most of those missiles down. Some landed, no real damage, no one killed. And so Israel is going to respond. Now, what's incredible about this is the Biden administration and Joe Biden. Word is leaking out that Joe Biden had sent messages to the Iranians about what seemed to be an impending response to the killings of the Iranian generals by Israel, by attacking Israel. And Biden assured Iranian officials that they could be okay with a limited Iranian strike on Israel. Iran telegraphed this attack. Iran did not use its best forces to hit Israel and gave Israel lots of time to prepare and get ready. Iran wanted to mollify its citizenry, the people that support the Ayatollah, the people that support this aggressive anti-Israel position of the Iranian government. Now, Israel wants to respond to protect itself to ward off another effort like that. And President Biden says, Israel, don't. Israel, you won. You defeated all the missiles. They didn't hurt you. You win. Take the win, says President Biden. In fact, now President Biden is saying, as he sees Israel preparing to attack Iran in response to Iran attacking Israel, again, the tit for tat, said he'd be okay with a symbolic Israeli strike on Iran. Nothing too aggressive. Take out some installations, hit some nuclear facilities, hurt some of their militia in Syria, Iraq, maybe Hezbollah, maybe Hamas, maybe the Houthi rebels. But it's got to be symbolic only. Remember, this is the president that said in February of 2022, as Russia was poised to attack Ukraine, it's one thing if it's a minor incursion, essentially giving a green light to Putin for a minor incursion, a green light to Iran for a limited strike on Israel, a green light to Israel with a symbolic strike on Iran. President Biden's got this all wrong. He is forsaking the Jewish people, the Israeli state, in favor of Arab and Muslims who vote in Michigan. President Biden's Middle East policy response to this turmoil in the Middle East is all driven by November 2024. The limited efforts by the U.S. military to take out the Houthi rebels, the limited efforts to oppose Iran. He doesn't want to spike oil prices. He doesn't want to start a war in the Middle East. He doesn't want inflation rising as the election arrives. He doesn't want to piss off Arabs and Muslims in Michigan and similar states to avoid negative electoral college impact. Shameful. America stands on the side of Israel, always and everywhere. If we're choosing sides, all right, just lastly, let's check in on markets. Markets got spooked a little bit today by Fed Chair Powell saying that we're going to need more time to see the effects of rising interest rates on inflation. It's too early to lower rates. Inflation is still a problem. And that spooked markets quite a bit. In addition, we had some economic data the past couple of days. We had retail sales for the month of March up 0.7%, better than expected, almost as good as the prior month, but still elevated, and not something the Fed is going to see as a weakness in the retail sector. So that's not going to cause the Fed to think about lowering rates. We had New York State Empire Manufacturing Index out for the month of April yesterday, down 14.3. That's really bad. That's really weak. But that's New York specific. That's not going to cause the Fed to change monetary policy in June. Today, we had housing starts for the month of March, 1.321 million units on an annualized basis, down 14.7%. Ouch, not good. But still, we're well above pre-COVID housing start levels. Again, not going to cause the Fed to change its monetary policy outlook for the meeting in June. Industrial production flat for the month of March. Capacity utilization for the month of March, 78.4%, about as we've had for the last few months. But none of this data is going to change the Fed's outlook or reverse what Fed Chair Powell said, that we need more time to see inflation fall. So obviously, the market, the equity market, didn't like this news. Right now, bad news is good news for the equity market, and good news is bad news for the equity market. S&P 500 closing the day at 5,051, down 10. Dow Jones Industrial Average 37,798, up 63. That's an unusual correlation right there. Sell these rallies in equities. We're in a bubble. Don't put new money to work up here, that's for sure. If you're long already, stay long as you can. Keep a trailing stop in your position. But don't put new money to work up here. This thing's coming off. U.S. 10-year Treasury, 4.65%, up 3 basis points on the day. I like this. We're above an important technical level, 450. Let's go take out 5% for the 10-year. 30-year money, 4.75%, so only 10 basis points more to fund yourself for 30 years than for 10 years. Pretty remarkable. Oil unchanged on the day, 85.35. No real impact yet on the turmoil in the Middle East, but certainly an attack by Israel on Iran could spook markets and push oil higher. Natural gas, $1.73, up 4 cents. Gold, 2,406, up another 23, new record high again. Check in the U.S. dollar index, 106.34, up another 13 points. Dollar strength reigns supreme right now. Buy dips in the dollar. Dollar yen trading 154.65, up another 38. BOJ cannot be happy. Sterling 124.30, down 20. Euro dollar 106.20. Holy cow, 106.20. Happy days. God bless America. Now, having said that, of course, as I say every week or every show, we need a weaker dollar. We need dollar depreciation because we run a $1.1 trillion trade deficit. All right, that's all I have for you today. Always try to buy American.